Hey, brothers and sisters, I just want to encourage y'all. I know I've been telling y'all all this week about dreaming and taking chance and this and that. I want to mention a verse to you to really connect why I'm sharing these things and why this has been popping up. God says his gift to man is for him to enjoy his toil. This is in Ecclesiastes. His gift to man is for him to enjoy his toil. I believe it's in Ecclesiastes. It might be Proverbs, but regardless, it's in the word. Sorry, I just had some tacos. Them joints slapped. But, okay, back to the point. Okay. That's his gift, is that you enjoy your toil. Enjoy your work. With that being said, you gotta analyze, are you enjoying the things that you do? Or are you doing it solely because you're scared? Are you doing it because it's safe? Are you doing it because it's convenient? Are you doing it because it's easy? These are things to ask and question in your own heart and ponder. Because the alternative is say those are the reasons why you're doing it. It's safe, it's convenient, it's easy, you're scared, whatever. The contrast is, if you walk in faith and are bold, that you might end up being able to do something that you love doing while getting paid for it. Is that not like absolutely legendary? And biblically, for those who follow Christ, this is the call that he's called before us. And so this is what I want to start presenting before you all about the life that he's called us to and that he wants us for us. That he wants us to be the head and not the tail, the lender and not the borrower. And we're more than conquerors. We are to do everything with a spirit of excellence. He says, do you see a man skilled in his work and his labor and his craft? He will sit before kings. This is the reality of what he's called us to do and be. And we've settled and been deceived for this mediocrity, this like lukewarm, this complacency, this casual, just timid, weak, and fearful mentality of, oh, I'm being responsible by doing the safe thing. Now I get it, like there's, live a quiet life and aspects of that, and of course I'm talking about working, but you have to ask yourself, are you doing this job and this work solely out of being too scared to take a chance of faith? Like, even though it's killing you and maybe draining you and you hate it and you think about quitting all the time, are you doing it because that is more easy than addressing your fear of starting something? Because this is important to figure out. Like, if you're working a 9 to 5, I'm just kind of talking to somebody about this thing. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you hate it and you are grinding away, are you willing to do what you hate 9 to 5 every day, dying within, because it's convenient and the path's already been laid and you can see it? Are you willing to do that? Or are you willing to maybe build your own thing and sacrifice 5 years of grinding to maybe change your life the rest of your life? Like 5-year trajectory. Imagine a 5-year trajectory of starting a business or starting something on the side, or creating and constantly developing it for 5 years of consistency to then have something maybe full-time for your career that you love doing, making way more money. Just a thought. But that takes faith. That's the caveat. Because most of us would be like, yeah, for sure. If I could transfer me working 9 to 5 for some other man and create my own business 9 to 5, or maybe even do it like 10 hours a week on top of my 9 to 5 right now for 5 years, faithfully put in 10 hours every week into a whole nother hobby, craft, calling, while doing my 9 to 5. So you're still making money in the immediate and preparing for the future, and you do that for 5 years, you could have a completely changed future. Most people will say yes and be willing to do it. But that's not the problem about it. It's the problem that they don't believe. They don't have the faith to start building the ark while they haven't seen the rain yet. See, Noah had faith. Noah had faith that when the Most High told him, you build because the flood is coming. That's one spot of faith. Noah had faith that he was called. He was elected. He was chosen. He was found righteous in the Most High's eyes. He had faith of his identity. This is pivotal. You gotta realize your identity. If you don't have faith in your identity, then of course you're gonna settle for a low tier, just I don't even want to say it. It's unacceptable for those who he's called. Like, you gotta really find out your identity. When you find out your identity, you're gonna be pissed that you've been duped, because these things are unacceptable. They're literally unacceptable. remember the first time I ever had a panic attack. I was 27 years old. I'm 31 now. I was 27 and I was totally backslidden. Oh no, I'm sorry, I was 26. I was totally backslidden and I had fell away. Porn, Adderall, gaming, being a bum, smoking weed, sloth, liar, just so many. I was down with the count. I was in the pig's pen. And one day God's like, I asked God for discipline because I know I've gone astray. I can't even enjoy my sin because I still know the Most High. I literally, it's not the same. When you know what you're doing, it's not fun anymore. It's just, I'm in bondage. So I ask him for discipline. I'm like, God, I need discipline. I need to change. And I don't have the discipline in me to do it. And I don't have the people around me set up for an infrastructural way to discipline me, to hold me accountable. I don't have that either. So I need you. He did it. He let the demons come and torment me, boy. I tell you, this is biblical. You guys got to get with the game. You can ask. If you ask for things according to his will, he's going to give it to you. I asked for discipline. He started whooping me down. I had my first panic attack. And I remember after having it, I almost jumped out of this truck. I was moving down the highway. I was still working and stuff, you know, but I was working at this truck, this moving company, and I'm driving down this highway. And I'm driving down the highway. I'm like, I gotta go back. I can't do this. I'm driving down the highway, getting ready to jump out of the truck on the highway because that's how much I was freaking out in the car. Like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Obviously, I don't jump out of the truck, but that's what it felt like. And I'm freaking out. My life flashed before my eyes. I saw from when I was like 5 years old, all these moments of my life flash by from like literal childhood all the way to adulthood in order, like chronologically and aging. So many thoughts and visions and moments because it was, I literally couldn't breathe. And anyhow, so I remember I get back home telling my mom about this, and she's telling me that she's had them before. It's my first time having it. It got me so pissed. That was when God really started catalyst in my life again, and really started, that was the prodigal son returning moment. I came to my senses. What am I doing? This is unacceptable. What am I doing? Living in this pig's pen, in this crap? Let me return back to my Father, the Most High, and get in right standing. Even if I have to be a servant, so be it. I'm better off as a servant of God, of my Father, than this crap that I'm in. So I'm repenting. I'm realizing I gotta change. This is unacceptable. And so I tell my mom this, and she's telling me that she has these, right? And I'm furious because I'm pissed that that's happening to my mom, that my mom's getting attacked. I'm just pissed. Like, this is unacceptable. And you bet, this is my first time realizing. And then starting to realize as I've grown that so many people have them, like, what are you doing? This is not acceptable. These are major red flags. For me, it was so evident that it was red flags. I knew, and I asked for these things, but I didn't know that he did it in that way. But now I know, and point is I'm hoping you guys start to get the revelation that first, ask for discipline. You can do that. You can ask for him to spank you, and that is good, because you know you need it anyway. He's putting you in check out of love as a good father. He says he disciplines those who he loves. He chastises those who he loves. He says if he doesn't discipline you and he doesn't chastise you, that actually proves that you're an illegitimate child. You're not a true child of God, which means you're a child of who? The father of lies, which we know what happened to them. Okay. Point is you can ask for discipline, and he will do it because he loves you, and you're going to be so much more thankful. It's going to hurt, no doubt. Of course it's going to hurt. Ain't nobody all excited to get disciplined, but it's so worth it, brothers and sisters. You start to get your character developed, and then you start to live to the standard that he's called you to, and he's putting the gold ring on you, and putting the nice new clothes on you, and preparing the dinner for you, and preparing the feast for you. You're going to be like, I ain't going back. Ta-ha! I'm telling you. Some of you, let me just start with the basics, because I know I've been talking about discipline a lot, and character and consistency. Now let's get into the spiritual, because I've been doing it for the milk for a while, but now we're going to get into spiritual. Pray for discipline. You have not because you ask not. And then you ask and don't receive because you ask how to use it upon yourself. This is something solely pure. The fruit of the Spirit, self-control, self-discipline. Pray for that. Be specific. Take care. God bless.